everybody, and welcome back to another episode of From BA to Broadway, your premier showbiz education podcast. You know who it is. It's me. It's Mr. Brennan Stefanik, your host, and I'm bringing you those general programming reminders. Folks, every Monday we are here with the main episodes, and every Friday we are here with our mini-series In the Spotlight. And wow, would you look at that? Today is Friday. I, of course, am not here alone. I could never do this alone. I am joined by our one and only musical theater historian, Mr. Daniel J. Solly. Danny, what is going on?
It's okay. You can say musical theater fag.
I'm not going to say that.
Just say it for me. I want to hear it.
I hate you.
Hi,
friends. Hey, everyone. Danny, what's going
on? Not too much. You know,
we got some big news happening in this world that we inhabit.
Yeah.
Icarus flew a little too close to the sun.
It's been a tough 48 hours for musical theater stands. I gotta tell everyone. Although, what I gotta say is it is very, I guess the word is like inspiring to see the way that the community will rally around two of its greatest.
That's true. Yeah.
The way, obviously, we're talking about the Patti LuPone, Audra,
yes.
Keisha Lewis business.
Mm-hmm.
You know, look, it's no secret that this business does suck and is, you know, like we love to pretend that it's like a beacon of support and welcome and inclusion, 100%. And it's like definitely not. But, you know, I think that this is a moment where I like looking at my Instagram feed. Yesterday was I have like never seen such an outpouring of like unity.
Literally. Everyone was writing like very thoughtful things too. Uh-huh. Like by the time I caught wind of everything, I was reading everything and I was like, there is nothing I could say that would be nearly as helpful as anyone else because these people are brilliant.
There was a moment where, like I looking through that, I am like, okay, like this is inspiring that people are willing, you know, I guess we have to reach a certain point, unfortunately, but like people are willing to like speak on it and publicly declare. And other, you know, I think of like the other Broadway dames.
Yeah.
You know, like Donna Murphy. You know, it's one thing if like I get on my high horse and I'm like, you know, Patti LuPone is wrong and mean and a bully, but like Donna Murphy, who stands on stage and sings with Patti LuPone publicly today, like made a post in support of Audra McDonald, and like I think that can only mean good things for the industry.
Yeah,
I think, I don't know.
I hope Patti does some reflection.
I think it's a moment of like, we all knew she was a certain kind of way.
Yeah.
But it was like, wow, you really kind of went there and didn't back down.
Yeah.
And when someone tells you who they are, believe them.
For sure.
I also want to say that was a shit reporter and that was a shit article.
Yeah, it was just kind of like, hey, did you hear what happened?
Like, on one hand, I was like, yes, she said the thing that we all heard. She stands by the thing that she said. Mm-hmm. And maybe it's good that we all know that she thinks and says these things.
Yeah.
I also was like, clearly this is a reporter who like despises Patti LuPone.
Mm-hmm.
The whole article was just like mocking her and despising her and like really shit-talking her. And it sounds like he was just coal mining for like pull quotes.
Heard.
So I'm also like, yeah, shitty thing of Patti to say and do, and tells us a lot about who she is. Also, shitty reporter, shitty reporting, and shitty article. Like, the whole thing is shitty. And I was also like, because on one hand, I do think, not that it's positive, but I'm like, yeah, she said it. I'm not saying that, you know, like, we shouldn't know that she said it.
Of course.
But also, he was just, like, he was coal mining for her to publicly talk badly about her colleagues in the industry. And it's like, he wanted bad things said about Audra McDonald and Keisha Lewis. Like, that's what he was mining for. So I was like, you just wanted to put that into the world.
Yeah.
For these two, like, real women to read.
For sure.
So the whole thing was just like, shit. I was like, I read the whole thing and I was like, shit on Patti LuPone, shit on this reporter. Like, this whole thing is like insane.
Yeah.
And I don't know, like, what happens now.
I mean, yeah, it was just, the whole thing was entered with a bias and shaped around it, which, like, so valid. However, at least write about it eloquently. I don't know.
There's a, and everyone's saying it, there's just like a like there's a fine line between diva and like cruelty.
Oh, yeah.
And like we love a diva.
100%.
But
the line was crossed.
Like a kind diva.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I don't know. I don't know where I hope. I don't know. It'll be interesting because all at the same time, I'm like, she's 76 and has millions. So there is also a world where she kind of is like, all right, bye. Like retires to her mansion and lives, like
for sure,
lives like a hermit, and we never hear from her again. I don't know. It'll be very interesting to see, and it'll be interesting what the Broadway community. It's easy to like say something in the 48 hours that something breaks. Like what happens in like a year or two when 100%. She like announces a 54 Below concert.
Of course.
I don't know.
Stay tuned. But
I will be sat at Gypsy tonight.
That is true.
Because we support the dames of Broadway.
Of course. So yeah, that is this just in of musical theater.
Yeah.
But Danny, what show are we talking about today?
Today, we are talking about what is the male word for dame?
It's sir, isn't it sir?
Sir? It doesn't have the same grandiose as like dame.
Oh, I mean, yeah, but I think just logistically that is that.
But today I'm going to wax poetic about one of my faves. And of course, we are going to be talking about Tick, Tick, Boom.
Okay. Hell yeah. Yes, this episode was brought to you by our principal tier Patreon member, Amber.
Yes.
Danny was thrilled to see this one come in.
Oh, it made me beam. You wrote in and you asked me to wax poetic about Raul Esparza, and I am only too happy to deliver.
But of course. Okay, let's dive into it.
So, Tick, Tick, Boom, we're zooming out from Raul for a second, unfortunately, is a musical. It's got such an interesting history. I was actually very excited to talk about this.
Yeah.
Musical by Jonathan Larson, the late, great Jonathan Larson, who, his big thing is Rent, that we know. And so the show, it's like, he describes it as semi-autobiographical.
Yeah.
The main character's name is John, which is, we assume, short for Jonathan Larson.
Oh my God.
But in the show, it's just John. He's never Jonathan or anything else. The show follows John, who is an aspiring composer for musical theater living in Soho, New York City in the 90s. And so the show opens with his impending 30th birthday as John worries about getting older and his lack of professional achievement. We meet Michael, John's childhood bestie, who gave up acting to work a lucrative marketing job, and we meet Susan, who is John's girlfriend, who is a dancer but teaches ballet to wealthy and untalented children. John is in the middle of writing his new musical, Superbia, as Susan asks him to leave New York, and I think she has like a job opportunity, and she's like, come leave New York with me, and we can live this traditional life together. We can like leave behind this like poor artist romanticized life and like be real adults out in the world.
Yeah.
And his friend Michael urges him to get a more stable career like he did. John works as a waiter at a cafe in the mornings while he writes his musical at night. So he holds a workshop of his musical, and it is considered to be a big hit. Many people are excited by it and they love it, but he ultimately receives no offers from a producer. So he basically crashes out, has a huge fight with Michael, who admits that he loves making more money but feels unfulfilled with his day job. And John is pondering the amount of sacrifice required for his career in music and like, is it worth it? And it's kind of just pondering that question that we all ask who pursue a career in the arts. Ultimately, he realizes that he will only be happy as a professional composer, no matter how hard it is. And so in the morning of John's 30th birthday, he meets up with Susan, who is getting ready to leave town without him, and they agree to keep in contact with one another. His phone rings, and Stephen Sondheim, who is his professional idol, is calling him to meet and discuss Superbia with him. John realizes that he is surrounded by friends and that his talents are finally being recognized, and the show ends.
Mm-hmm.
And this is all true. Like, this is the story of Jonathan Larson writing a real show called Superbia.
Yeah.
And kind of the process that he took. He wrote this musical for like years and years and years. He workshopped it. Stephen Sondheim was his mentor. The show, I think he actually eventually ditched writing Superbia in order to start writing Rent.
Yes.
And Superbia has unfortunately been lost. We have like a couple of numbers from the show, but I don't think anyone's been able to find like a full libretto.
Yeah.
So it's been lost to time. So this show was originally performed in September of 1990 by Jonathan Larson at the Second Stage Theater off-Broadway as a one-man show titled Boho Days. He then made revisions to the piece and changed the title to Tick Tick Boom, and then brought the show to Village Gate and then later to the New York Theater Workshop in 1993. He called the show a rock monologue. So basically it was like him having a one-man rock monologue show telling his own story.
I see that for sure.
About, like, it was like he wrote a show about him writing a show.
Yeah.
Which I kind of love. And the show attracted the attention of producer Jeffrey Seller, who in turn became a huge Jonathan Larson fan and was the driving force behind transferring Rent to Broadway years later.
Yeah.
So you never know who's in the audience for your one-man show.
Ain't that the truth?
After Jonathan died in 1996, Victoria Leacock, who was the OG producer of Tick Tick Boom, like when it was just his one-man show, she hired David Auburn, who is a Pulitzer Prize-winning playwright, to reconfigure the show. And so he restructured it into a 3-actor book musical.
Mm-hmm.
And so it's like took all the elements of his one-man show and like divided up into 3 parts and made it kind of, you know, the cohesive piece of musical theater that we know today.
For sure.
And so this revamped production premiered off-Broadway at the John Street Theater in May 2001 with a cast that included Raul Esparza as John, Jerry Dixon as Michael, and Amy Spanger as Susan. Molly Ringwald and Joey McIntyre were replacements for Susan and John during that run.
Oh my God.
Crazy, right?
Wow.
What a cast.
What a cast.
What a cast.
What a show. What a score.
Like, oh, him, Raul Esparza on that soundtrack is just, that soundtrack is so good. That
It's
original off-Broadway soundtrack.
Yep.
Amy Spanger also, she's one of those girlies who has been in every show.
Yeah.
Like she's like not a name. I don't think she really has any Tonys, but like she has such a huge list of credits to her name. She's been in like the original cast of Rock of Ages. She was in the original cast of Elf. She was in the original cast of like she just is one of those girls who's like always working on Broadway.
Yeah.
But kind of secretly, and I bet she lives just like a very normal life with her family.
For sure.
Which I love.
Honestly, the dream.
And so then the show had a life on tour and around the world, including a West End production, until it came back to New York in 2014, which is kind of crazy. It had like a 15-year hiatus from New York. Came back at New York City Center with Lin-Manuel Miranda as John, Karen Olivo as Susan, and Leslie Odom Jr. as Michael. What a crazy cast that was.
Yeah, another one.
Mm-hmm.
Crazy casts only.
Something I love about Lin is that he was in the show. I actually don't know if he had anything to do with the hiring, but it's like he's got his crew and he's so loyal to his crew.
Literally.
And he just like handpicks like the best people in the business, and he was like, you will be my muse, you will be my muse, you'll be in everything that I write because you are brilliant. And it's just like him and Leslie Odom Jr., I'd watch them do anything together.
I mean, he really cracked the code because quite frankly, I think if I were to just in life do art with my friends forever and make a good living out of it, like that would be the biggest dream in the world for me. Yeah.
And I feel like it's kind of, I don't know, I always think that there is somewhat of a through line of like I feel like Lin-Manuel Miranda kind of lived out the career that Jonathan Larson was on track to have.
Heard.
And I know that like Stephen Sondheim was Lin's biggest mentor and like would read all of his drafts, and I think Stephen Sondheim read like every draft of Hamilton and would give him notes and feedback, which is kind of what he did for Jonathan for the short period of time that they knew each other. And it's, I don't know, there's something about that through line that I really find kind of inspiring.
For sure.
And then we got a 2016 off-Broadway revival at the Acorn Theater, which I don't know that theater, at Theater Row, with Nick Blamire as John, Sierra Renee as Susan, and George Salazar as Michael. It's like legends only.
Yeah.
Legends only. I guess if you're going to do a show, if you're going to do a 3-person cast show, you got to get just like heavy hitters.
I mean, yeah. And this show too in particular is such like a specific kind of niche music-wise, too, where it's like, we're going to get these 3 people and they're going to blow your socks off in a way that you haven't seen before.
That I remember that 2016 one happened. I regret not making an effort to go see it. But, I mean, that cast. Ciara Renee, you know I'm a Ciara Renee stan. Oh, we gotta get her in something right now. And so then we have our most recent 2024 Kennedy Center production, which was directed by Neil Patrick Harris.
Crazy.
He played John on the West End.
Yes, he did.
Which I would be a good part for him back in his heyday.
Yeah.
Starring Brandon Uranowitz as John, Danae Benton as Susan, and Gray Hansen as Michael.
Yeah.
Just like heavy hitters.
For sure.
Another one. Like, I think Brandon Uranowitz can do no wrong. I think he's brilliant.
My God, yeah.
I think he's one of the best actors that we have.
Totally.
He's also someone I always forget about.
Yeah.
Until he's always working and I forget about him, and then obviously he's in a cast. I'm like, oh my God, Brandon Uranowitz exists.
For sure.
He would be a Seymour. He would be a good Seymour.
He would be. I'm surprised we haven't seen him.
I think doesn't need to do it.
That's fair.
He's about to star in Ragtime.
That's fair.
I gotta get to see. And then in 2001, actually no, in 2021, hop forward 20 years.
Very much true, yeah.
We got the film version.
We did get the film version.
Directed by Lin-Manuel Miranda. In his feature directorial debut, Andrew Garfield played John, Alexandra Shipp played Susan, Robin De Jesus played Michael. Obviously, this wasn't a 3-person movie, so they kind of expanded and wrote a lot of characters, and other actors included Vanessa Hudgens, Joshua Henry, Judith Light. Also, one of the most heartwarming moments in the entire film industry, is Stephen Sondheim himself makes a cameo with his real voice, leaving the message at the end of the show, asking John to collaborate with him. And I think that this was like very close to when Sondheim died.
Yeah.
And I think I might be getting my timelines wrong. I think did he die before the movie came out? The movie came out like 10 days before he died.
Oh my God.
So, but Lynn was like, he saw a pre-screener of it.
Yeah.
He got to watch it. Very special. And this movie was like, you saw this movie, right?
Great movie.
I loved this movie. This movie felt like a movie musical done right. Sometimes they're just done right.
Yeah.
It felt like it was like for theater kids by theater kids, which is what
100%.
Lynn is. Lynn is just a giant theater kid.
Yeah.
And the whole show was full of cameos. That was the thing about this movie. It was like cameos on cameos on cameos. Bernadette Peters, Laura Benanti, like Adam Pascal, I almost said Mimi Marquez, Daphne Rubin Vega, like people who worked with Jonathan Larson.
Yeah.
People who were in iconic works of his. It was so good.
So good.
It was just glorious.
I mean, this show in particular, too, it's like, it's one of those things where it's like the honest reflection of what we do, too. And it's like, okay, what a nice actual depiction of all of these things that we know and feel in the way that we love to do it most.
And it was like, I sincerely think that Andrew Garfield was robbed of the Oscar that year.
Yeah.
I think he was the only person who could follow up Raul Esparza was Andrew Garfield. I thought he was so good in the part.
Andrew Garfield's very talented. He
Andrew
really
Garfield is one of my absolute favorite actors. Like, he's one of those, I'll see a movie if he's in it.
Oh my God, yeah.
You know, like, he's so good, and he can sing.
Yeah.
He can sing. He needs to come to Broadway.
He does.
Apparently, he was, they were kicking around his name for Merrily.
Oh.
It happened perfectly.
Oh, yeah.
But, you know, imagine a Andrew Garfield Frank would have been chef's kiss. And it was very sweet because Jonathan Larson was known for his, like, Converse. He would, like, always wear Converse. And I remember Raul Esparza made an Instagram post when the movie came out being like, I kept the Converse that I wore in the original production and blah, 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 blah.
Oh.
So special.
Wow.
Oh, it's so good.
So good. Really great film.
Yeah. Like, this is one where I am like, yeah, if you want to know. I've actually never seen Tick Tick Boom. I've never seen it. I've never seen the stage musical.
People don't do it all that often.
I think we got a little bit of a resurgence after the movie. I know that there were a couple of big regional productions. I know that, like, Andy Mientas has done a couple. He's played John a couple of times, and I think I would really be interested to see him do it because I think he's a really good choice for that. But no, it's not really done a lot.
No.
I mean, it's tricky. It's a 3-person
It
show.
is. Yeah.
It's a 3-person show that's about. I feel like a show that is so about show business it's tricky
Totally.
because it's like we get it.
Yeah.
I get why the movie wasn't a huge box office like
For
success.
Sure. It's also like one of those things where like it is very much rock music with this bohemian story that like this isn't gonna be for the summer stock seasons for all the white middle-aged vacationers out there.
No, and it's also like, yeah, I don't know. I just think such a small cast show it's tricky.
Totally.
It's tricky. It's tricky to sell tickets to.
Yeah.
Because it is like it. I mean, that's just what it was started as a one-man show. It is a scrappy little black box.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like I can't imagine it working on a proscenium.
No.
We will never. I don't think we will ever get a Broadway production of it. And if we
Probably
do,
not, no.
it should be at the Circle and the Square Theater. You
Yeah.
know it, baby. And I would pay to see this silver fox reprise his role.
I am currently being shown a picture of Raul Esparza. He's too old for that now.
I wouldn't be mad about it.
I know you wouldn't.
They might have to change it to like, 30, 60, 90 or whatever it is.
60, 90.
60, 90.
Yeah. They're like,
Yeah.
John, you're 60. Like, you gotta quit, man. You gotta quit.
I gotta write. I gotta write. I hope we get another. I mean, they just had it. They kick it around off Broadway every so often.
Yeah.
I would definitely make a real effort to see it if it comes back, and if the cast is good.
For sure. I don't think they would do it without a good cast at this point.
I don't know. They do a lot of things without good casts.
I mean, yeah, but this in particular, I feel like it's disrespectful for this to have a bad cast.
Yeah. No, 100%. And I can only imagine because I know Lynn worked very closely with the Larson family on the movie, and I can only imagine what that is like to watch for them.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah, when I'm gone, you can direct the movie for me.
Oh, I was like,
of my life.
I was like, I'm directing your Tick Tick Boom?
Yes, my magnum opus.
Okay, yes. Great. What do you want it to be called?
Knock Knock Kapow.
Wow. Okay. Nailed it.
Yeah.
Great.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, you got it. I'm here for it.
Yeah, I remember. So Tick Tick Boom. There's an interesting thing that happens when you're in a small college theater program, where if one girl sings a song or guy, if one person sings.
I think everyone can sing.
If someone,
all genders. Shame on you.
If somebody sings a song really well in a class and they do a really good job, suddenly it's in everyone's book.
Oh my God, yeah.
And you go through it gets very jarring because you're like, is this a wildly overdone song, or did it just spread rapidly through my tiny theater program when one person did a good job with it? And that happened with Come to Your Senses, our senior year of college, because I think one girl got assigned Come to Your Senses, and she killed it. I don't remember who was patient zero of Come to Your Senses.
Oh my God.
If you were in my NYU class of 2018, holler, let me know if it was you. Someone was patient zero, killed it in class. All of a sudden, every single person, me included, had it in our books.
Oh, wow. Okay.
I changed that little key and I was like, I'm singing this song, baby.
And it's weird and different for you because you're a boy.
I know.
Wow.
I'm kind of queer. I'm not like all the other boys.
No,
I sing
you're not.
Come to Your Senses.
You're not like the other boys or the other girls.
So that was my actually introduction to Tick Tick Boom. I didn't know the show before that. I was like, this song is gorgeous.
Yeah.
It's a beautiful song. It is
God.
Susan's power ballad at the end of the show.
Totally.
I feel like that's a popular book song.
Yeah.
And people like to put 3090 in their books, I think.
I have 3090 in my book. That's my contempt.
I feel like what's the cut? I feel like it's a weird song to cut.
I do.
Maybe not.
I do the first verse. So if there is enough
time. Do you want to sing
it
for us now?
Yeah. So if there is time, I'll go from no, blah, blah, blah.
And he sings that part too.
Yeah,
that's not the accompaniment. That's him.
And if there is not time, I just start from Freeze the Frame and then do the whole first verse.
Freeze the frame.
Yeah. Nice.
Yeah, I should put it in my book.
You should scat it. Scat, scat, boom.
Scat, scat,
Okay. I fear that we've lost the thread.
So what is the thread?
Tick Tick Boom.
Tick Tick Boom
rocks.
And it's a good show by itself.
Oh my God, yeah.
So watch the show if you just like theater. But also if you are such a weirdo about like musical theater history.
Yeah.
Like it is showing a very specific moment in musical theater history
Totally.
in like what was it like to live in New York in the 90s trying to make it, you know?
100%.
I think it's a kind of lifestyle that doesn't really exist anymore.
Yeah.
That we don't experience.
No.
I don't know why. Just the culture is different.
Yeah.
And the economy is different.
That is true. And like the artist way is
know?
like so different because of the way that the industry has evolved, and also how now there's tools that we didn't have back then that make it more accessible in some ways and less accessible in others.
And if I'm not mistaken, I think this is just a fun fact.
Yeah.
The pool that Andrew Garfield was swimming in is the actual YMCA that Jonathan Larson went to.
Wow.
I think they filmed like at the location.
That's fun.
Because everything, I think it's the Upper East Side YMCA. Like,
Gotcha.
That's the one he went to. Like he was a New York City guy.
He was.
Yeah, it's just I couldn't recommend it more.
For sure.
And I'm surprised that we have not talked about this show yet.
That's also true.
I was like, huh. And
thank you, Amber.
Thank you so much. I don't know what more there is to say about Raul that hasn't been said.
Oh
I
my
think
God.
I miss him. You know who I miss? There's two people I miss. You probably know who they are.
Raul Esparza.
Uh-huh.
And then Kristen Chenoweth.
No, we get enough of her. It's Jesse Mueller.
Oh, okay.
They should do a two-hander.
Yeah.
Imagine.
What do you want it to be?
Apparently he's about to be in the Evita in the West End.
Oh, okay.
With
I
Rachel
don't know
Zegler.
Evita.
I actually don't know Evita either.
Oh, okay. I've never met her.
But Rachel Zegler is going to be Evita.
Okay.
On the West End, directed by Jamie Lloyd.
Yeah.
Of Sunset
Is that the one that what's her name was supposed to be in?
Ariana DeBose?
Yeah.
Yes. So kind of funny. Ariana DeBose was going to do it, dropped out. Rachel Zegler was going to do it.
Oh my God.
According to someone I may or may not watch the videos of, Sweaty Oracle.
Why would we hide that? Sweaty Oracle is out there doing the Lord's work.
I know. People get very controversial about him.
Oh my God. I mean, at the end of the day, it's like a tabloid, but it's a tabloid for musical theater.
And I gotta say, he's usually right. 99% of the time, he is right. He could probably predict what I'm having for breakfast tomorrow.
Absolutely.
Apparently, Raul Esparza is going to be in it.
Oh, okay.
And I think Raul Esparza is about to do something else. We gotta get him back on Broadway.
Yeah.
We gotta.
Law and Order, the musical.
I'll take either. If he wants to come back as ADA Barba, he's the best assistant district attorney we had on that show. I mean, I don't know. I really like Casey Novak. Oh.
Wow.
I like seasons 1 through 12 is where we really were in a golden age of SVU.
Okay.
And then when Barba left, I don't know. I think he got burnt out by Broadway.
Yeah.
So he did SVU.
Mm-hmm.
And then he did SVU for like 8 years. And then, Raul, I know you made your money. Baby, come back.
Do it for Danny.
He is one of the only actors to receive a Tony nomination in every acting category.
Wow.
Like supporting actor and lead actor in both play and musical. And he's never won.
Oh, wow. Okay. I was about to say, you mean the 2 different categories? But I guess
no, the 4.
He's
been nominated in all 4 categories. And he has never won. And he 100%, 1,000,000%, the biggest snub in Broadway history is his Bobby Tony that he did not get in 2006, I think.
Heard.
Went to David Hyde Pierce for Curtains. And I don't know Curtains. And I love David Hyde Pierce. But that was Raul Esparza's fucking Tony.
Understood.
Send it back. Mail it to him now. Or else.
Whoa. Okay.
I don't know. I think I just crashed out for a minute.
No, I think you did too. I saw your eyes start to turn a different color.
Start to turn red.
Yeah.
I'm like, Raul Esparza.
Oh my God.
We should get him on the pod.
Yeah, I mean, I agree.
Instagram?
For sure. I'm sure.
Let me follow him. Sorry, I had such an early morning today. I'm so tired.
I think I'm gonna wrap up the episode if that's okay with you, while you do your following of Raul Esparza.
Oh, he is. Oh my God, I don't follow him. That's sick and wrong.
That's so fake of you.
That's sick and wrong. Let me just modify that. All right, guys. Have a good one. Bye.
Folks, get out there. Go watch Tick Tick Boom in various mediums. Listen to the cast recordings.
I mean, look at this.
What am I looking at?
Audra McDonald making out with Anne Hathaway while Raul Esparza cuddles Anne Hathaway's left shoulder.
For what reason?
I think it's from As You Like It at the Delacorte.
Okay. Anywho, go watch Tick Tick Boom in all its various forms. If there's a certain show you want to hear us talk about, you can let us know by finding us over on the Patreon. That is patreon.com/BA2Broadway.
Patreon.
Nice. All of our principal tier Patreon members get to choose the shows that we talk about. So get on over there and let us know. Be a part of that fun community. All sorts of stuff going on over there. As always, you can find us on most social media platforms at BA2Broadway. You can find me at Brennan Stefanik.
You can find me as Raul Esparza's newest follower.
So true. At DSauls. And until next week, folks. Bye. From BA to Broadway is created, produced, and edited by Brennan Stefanik, music by Dylan Kaufman, and cover art by Jordan Vongsithi.